everyone good to go today for practice?
Yeah.
What's the update on Kyrie with the thigh?
It's fine. It's coming. Every indication is he'll play tomorrow. Practice, the whole practice today.
Right, you guys don't, obviously, especially you don't pay too much attention to playoff seeding and everything, but you guys are seemingly locked in a pretty close range. Is there any benefit in that and not worrying about, like, all right, we got to fight for this and fight for that?
I think the bottom line is we want to focus on playing as well as we can and competing together as well as we can. Where that stuff sorts itself out, it will. There will be times, obviously, in the next 16 games where we will, choose to rest out, choose to do some of that stuff. But that's no different than we would have planned 5 months ago, regardless of seeding and circumstance. So ultimately, it doesn't change our approach at all. The standards being what they are.
In the past, you've kind of said it doesn't matter home or road. You just want the team to play well. You focus on that. You don't focus on road. This year, with the struggles on the road and that being kind of indicative of what you've said the problems are, is there anything different about that for you that you guys want them?
No, I think that we just have to be. I think our issues, which we have all talked about ad nauseum, right, are start and end with competing consistently together. And if you don't do that, especially when bad things happen, it gets exponentially more difficult on the road to win. So it's not about home road, where you're playing, who you're playing against, who's rooting for who. It's about how you play when things don't go well. And, hopefully we respond like we did the other night when Sacramento went on some of their runs.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. When do you know that warming started to turn on that front and everything's just more of a consistent thing as opposed to kind of going
you're still going to have ups and downs, Tim. I mean, we're still, again, I always say this, you can win a playoff series and lose 3 times. So, ultimately, you're still going to have moments.
Right.
But there has to be a collective response that's connected, that's purposeful, and we haven't been as consistent at that this year. That's why Sacramento was such a good win. I thought that, obviously the Golden State win is what it is. I did not think Golden State played their A game. I thought we were extremely locked in to then play the night before or the night after against a real scrappy, hard-nosed team that was playing for their playoff lives. I thought was a really good win.
When you go through the last couple of months, just how much has now kept things connected for you? Just how important this game is?
Well, I think first of all, ever since he took the time to get his knee right, he's been really good, and so his play has really helped us, obviously. But I think he's a guy everybody looks up to, and we talked about it before when we were in Toronto. He's a very steady, consistent person.
When you talk about answering, any of those runs that other teams go on, what are the hallmarks on the court that you need to see that show you that you'll be able to handle this?
Well, I think it's the way that guys respond together. I think offensively you can see it in understanding where we need to go, who needs to touch it, and how you need to execute. Defensively, you're going to make everything as difficult as possible. Doesn't mean it's always going to work out your way, but you can see it in the play.
Brad, Shemi got a second look at that big unit we were running the other night. What did you see from him with that group and just kind of in his minutes?
I thought Shemi did a good job. I think Shemi, I told Shemi this the other day, I'm not sure he's not our most improved player. And the unfortunate part is because of our, just the depth at those positions, the wing positions, it's hard for him to find many minutes. And he's as good of a human being and as good of a worker as I've ever been around. And I'm excited that he gets more opportunities in games like that. And I thought he did a good job. And his hustle play, when he knocked the ball loose in transition the other night, was a huge play at a critical time. And he'd be a big part of a bigger switching lineup.
The Lakers obviously struggling right now. Yeah. You guys have two good wins in a row. Is there a fear that this is kind of a dangerous game?
You know what? Like we won 5 in a row the last time we played them, and everybody was talking about them struggling so bad on the trade deadline day, right? And we played great for about 18 minutes, and then we got really loose with how we played, and they took advantage of it. They made every shot. LeBron was dominant. We just didn't respond, and you know, Rondo ended up hitting that game winner. Our guys know, and you know, everybody paying attention to the news, and you see the talk about LeBron's minutes and all that stuff. You know, it's not the case tomorrow against the Celtics in the national TV game on Saturday night. So at the end of the day, we're gonna have to play really well to win. We have a lot of respect for the team. We have a lot of respect for all their guys, and they beat us last time, and they thoroughly outplayed us for 30 minutes of that game.
Going back to the end of the Sacramento game, Brad, in terms of, you know, responding to adversity and the offense, how pleased were you just in that fourth quarter, like getting the ball to the spots? You know, it seemed like you guys always got a good shot there.
We got good shots. Our spacing wasn't always great. We talked about that today. I thought we crept up on our shooters a little bit and brought defenders in to help, but I thought our execution was pretty good, and guys made big shots. You know, again, Al had a couple of those plays. Jason Tatum made big shots. Obviously, Gordon's last one. A lot of different guys stepped up. Thanks.
Thanks, Brad.